And if you were to do a muscle test, if you were to do a kinesiology little test on yourself by just getting someone to, if you just were to stick your arm out and make a fist and as tight as you possibly can and have someone push down on it, and have that someone who knows what they're doing do this in the moment while you're thinking, first of all, about forgiving these people, and notice how much stronger you are when you forgive them, and then just go to the revenge, get to the getting even part, which is what you're discussing, and notice the change, and you'll see that you'll get very, very weak. So that when we seek out revenge, there's an old Chinese saying that says that if you're going to pursue revenge, you'd better dig 2 graves.
Yep.
And the reason for that, of course, is that you're going to kill yourself in the process. Mm-hmm. If you can just let it go, if you can turn the holding them accountable thing that you are looking for over to someone else and detach yourself completely from the outcome of that, then that's fine. Let the lawyers, let the judges, let whoever it is that's in charge of that, and just dismiss yourself from it, let go of it. Likelihood is that you can't. And forgiveness generally means exactly what it says, that forgiveness means to let go, to no longer assign blame, to no longer make yourself the victim of all of that negativity, all of the shame, all of the anger, all of the hatred, all of the bitterness. All of that stuff is an alignment that you have with that very kind of energy, and the universe will just keep offering you experiences that are going to match that. And you're going to find yourself being bitter, and you're going to find yourself being upset, and so on. The best way around all of this is that I have found is to take those people that you think were the most demonic, the ones who did the most damage, and to have them in your own mind become your greatest teachers, to see them as teachers. And all of those experiences that have gotten you, that you're going to see that without that experience of whatever it is that you had to go through, you wouldn't be able to get to this place now where you can now look back on your depression and your fears and your anger and all of that. So those were great. Those are great, great teachers. And sometimes you really need to move in life. You need to make a decision. You need to change jobs. You need to change relationships. You need to change cities. Very often, these are the kinds of things that internally you absolutely know that you no longer can function at the level you'd like to function in the place that you are. So the universe, or God, whatever you want to call it, begins to give you all kinds of options to do it. But because of your fear, because you're just so used to being in the place that you've always been, you just continue to hang on there. And then ultimately what happens is that need to change, it turns into something where you don't have any choice anymore. Now you're going to start getting sick. Now you're going to start getting, depressed. Now you're going to, and all of that. So look upon all of them as great teachers to help you to move into a higher and higher place. Convert it to love. Send all of those people love. So if the best thing that you can do when we hang up this phone, which we're going to do in just a second, is to send some flowers or send a book to the person who you think was the most antagonistic towards you, and then be gone with it.
And I just put this in my last chapter, in chapter 9 of my book, which will be out later this year or early next year, called Wishes Fulfilled. It's the words of Jesus, and it's from the book of Luke 6:32 to 36. Let me just share this with you, because when it comes time to practice what Jesus was really saying, in the hardest of times, we don't do that. We seek out revenge, and we seek out hatred, and we act from that place that Lao Tzu called the low people. It is one with a will to kill instead of a will to love and forgive. And in this passage from Luke, Jesus says, if you love those who love you, what virtue lies in that? Even the morally weak love those who love them. And if you are good to those who are good to you, what virtue lies in that? Even the morally weak do that. Love your enemies. Be good to them. Share with them without expecting anything in return. Then your reward will be rich, and you will be sons of the Most High. He is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be compassionate, like your Father. And Lao Tzu, 600 years before that, said, the man of Tao is kind to the kind, and kind to the unkind. Because so kindness is his nature. And that's where we have to go. And that's why I believe these teachings are coming to me, and what is happening to me in my life right now is for me to have kindness as my nature, and to be kind not only to the kind and the ones who are nice to me, but to the unkind, to the evil, to to the people who see us as the great Satan and we see them as the great Satan. Somehow, ultimately, we as a people, if we're going to survive, have to figure out what Jesus was speaking about, what Lao Tzu was speaking about.